Trade Genius.
What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. All right, I wanted to cover an article that Willy Woo had written up, basically covering the different types of altcoins, and specifically the two types that we as investors want to look at. So with the altcoins, he breaks down there's protocol coins, utility tokens, security tokens, and non-fungible tokens like collectible tokens like CryptoKitties and things like that. Now, if you look at the entire altcoin marketscape, he likes to classify them as either being the type that oscillate in price versus Bitcoin or degenerate versus price in Bitcoin. And I think that's a pretty good way of classifying them. So what I wanted to do is briefly just show you what he means, and then we're going to go dive into some charts because I think you're going to be pretty surprised at what we find. Now, just so you understand what he means by degen, this is just a coin that just is not going to stabilize against the price of Bitcoin. So it can't keep up with the pace of Bitcoin's price. You get opportunities of swing trades, which we will identify and you can get in and out. But by and large, lower lows keep happening on it. So that's, it just continues to lose value over the course of time against Bitcoin, making lower lows. The oscillator types will actually maintain a base and a high point. So you can create like a low horizontal line and a high horizontal line, right? And they oscillate back and forth. Okay, so that's the different type. And you can't really HODL these types that just lose money over time against Bitcoin. These are, you're going to have to pick your spots, swing trading them when the alt market's heating up, but you're not really going to hold on to them. These you can hold on to them, but I will say that you need to time your entries correctly. So when you're looking at the chart, you want to make sure that you're buying on the low end of the range that it oscillates around. Okay, so that's prefacing what we're going to look at here with the chart. So now let's dive into the charts. And it's really funny because some of the things you'll think are definitely going to be quality oscillating types. Others you would think no way, but funny what the market does. If you look at Doggy Coin, now this started off as a joke, right? I mean, this was a joke fork of Bitcoin. There's no development behind it at all. However, it maintains a stable value low when it's coming off of the highs, and it truly oscillates. I mean, this is a perfect example. And so you can get in at these levels now. We're getting into a historically favorable time of the year for altcoin values to go up. That's deep in the fourth quarter. And you can target some of these highs. I mean, you're going to be looking at 2 to 3x gains, maybe even more, depending on how high it goes. So even though it's a joke, the market and the traders and the speculators find value in this coin. So they look for, it's a total speculative play, but obviously the market keeps coming back to it time and time again. Look at BNB. Now this is a younger coin, so it hasn't seen the longevity that some of these other ones have. But I did want to show you that even some of the newer stuff that wasn't in the market back in before 2017, let's say, this is a very good performing coin. Over time, it makes higher lows. Okay, so this is actually what you want to see in a coin. So as they pull back and they show that they're stabilizing at a level like it is here, probably a good entry risk reward wise to get in. And these you can hold for a longer period of time. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin, one of the oldest altcoins out there. As you can see, this oscillates up and down, right? And as we went over in the previous video, this is a great time to get it. You're at the bottom of the cycle here, and you should see some decent up moves soon. Ethereum is interesting because you would think it would probably qualify to be an oscillating type of price action against Bitcoin, but really, as of late, it's not been showing that it can get back up. Normally, you want to see some pretty even movements up and down at regular intervals. And after, August of 2018, it really, in Bitcoin terms, has not recovered out of a bear market. Okay, so still in a bear market in Bitcoin terms. Now, that being said, can we get another move up? And probe these upper levels? You probably could. Ethereum is a highly supported coin, a lot of development going on and things like that. So it probably does have a good chance of popping up out of these lows here, but not as much of an oscillator as one would think, especially not as much as one as Doggy, which is tells you how crazy investing can be sometimes, right? Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. Now, this is a newer coin, new kid on the block, forked off from Bitcoin back in the 2017 bull market. It oscillates, not a lot of price history, obviously, but if you were to get into it for long term, you would get down in these levels, these sub 0.03 levels, if you're looking to HODL it. And that means that it's going to hold that value. Obviously, it'll make out if you take profit when it does spike up and run up into these 048 areas, right? But again, we're looking at something that holds value, doesn't continually dribble down over time. So this qualifies. Lumen, this is XLM-BTC. They've been around a while. It's interesting because looking at this on the Bittrex chart, it does hold. If you get down on these levels, you can say that it does hold value, but it's interesting price action on it because, it does oscillate up here, right? And then it kind of dribbles down off. A lot of coins have suffered since the late 2018 in this way. So if you see coins that actually can hold value up and down all through this time, then, that's a better model for oscillating. But, again, XLM, we're down at levels where historically you'll see, much like Litecoin, you historically see pretty decent returns from this coin from these levels. So again, it's held these levels over a long period of time. There's support there. It doesn't keep finding new lows and new lows and new lows. Okay. So that's, even though it doesn't quite look like it's oscillating at the moment, has proven that it can oscillate and holds its lows. Ripple, another popular one. This oscillates as well. It holds the lows, right? Some people might not think that because it's just been, they've been waiting for that pop that never seems to come on Ripple. But I think you have to look at things in context. Historically, these are decent areas to get into Ripple and wait for a move up. So I think some of these plays just require a lot of patience. And if you are hodling them, you just have to make sure you're at the appropriate levels to do so. But by and large, across the board, degenerating value or oscillating value, it really does pay to take profits when these things do pop. Last one we'll look at is NEEM, and this is XEM-BTC. Again, it holds value. The oscillating cycles haven't really been around as of late, a lot of coins, but it holds value, right? And so if you get into these levels now, you can, get in with really good risk reward, and you have the potential to see a huge percentage gain. I mean, if you see another pop like what we saw back here in a good bull market for altcoins, I mean, you're talking about, in Bitcoin terms, you're talking about 2,000% gains. And that's huge. That's a lot. So these are the ones, I think, if you're looking at like long-term, low risk, good risk reward plays, these are the ones that you want to look at. So I hope that helps, guys. Something to understand about the altcoin markets and the different types of altcoins that there are and the different price actions. And a shout out to Willy Woo for that article that I think clarified a lot of what we had floating around in our heads. But I thought it was a good idea to follow up on that and to show you some real examples of such coins. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.